Today I'm going to be ranking Rigby's greatest moments in regular show. These are going to be moments where he was a good friend, a good boyfriend, finishing his character arc, progressing as a person, doing things for himself, whatever it was. If it is Rigby being shown as a great character, we're going to be taking a look at all of those moments, because a while back I did a video ranking all the most horrible things Rigby ever did, but Rigby has also done a lot of really good things in the series, so why not take a look at all of those? And if you like content just like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. I got plenty of regular show, Adventure Time, Gumball, and other show content coming, and at 20,000 subscribers I'm going to be cosplaying as Benson and drinking the Mississippi Queen. So yeah, if you don't want to miss that, you might as well subscribe. And without further ado, let's rank the greatest moments of Rigby in regular show.
Womp 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 womp.
Stop talking!
And starting off, this is the number 18. It's going to be the episode 1 pull-up, and it's Rigby achieving that pull-up after, just getting this underdog story in the beginning of the episode where you just think Rigby can never do this. You have Muscle Man going womp 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 womp. Anytime Rigby tries to do this pull-up, you watch him struggle.
Womp womp womp.
You watch him fail. He's at his lowest of moments, and he goes through this entire arc throughout this entire episode with training with Eileen, getting a whole ass montage showing that Rigby can do this if he just puts his mind to it. And in the end, did he cheat the system? Yes, he did. He did a lot, actually, because he uses the Russian, something that could just give you an immense amount of mass really quickly, because you're only supposed to leave it on for 30 minutes, and Rigby straps it to both of his nipples and his arms, and this leads to him just becoming an absolute unit, just absolutely huge.
You gotta...
It worked!
What did you do?
I used the Russian to get totally ripped!
And Eileen shows up and is genuinely in shock by this mass monster Rigby, and has to tell him to just run all the way there. He has to literally use his arms, planting them into the ground in order to get there. He eventually gets there, and he's just so heavy that he pummels all the way down into the earth, and he has to crawl his way back up, envisioning that he could do it, and he manages to pull off that one pull-up. I think this is a really great episode, and yes, it's just a very weird concept with Rigby just becoming absolutely huge and kind of cheating everything that he did in the past, especially with that Eileen montage, but either way, I enjoy it a lot. I think it's a really good Rigby episode, and it's a very good moment for him. Even if he cheated the system, he proved them wrong.
You want to prove you're the man? Then how about a little wager?
What do you want to bet?
Loser pays for the winner's meal.
And coming in at number 17 from the episode Bank Shot is going to be Rigby making the greatest bank shot of all time. If you don't know what bank shot is, you basically shoot the ball at the net, but instead of just, shooting it through the net, your ultimate goal is to get it to bank off as many things as possible, and the more things it banks off of, the more points you get. And Rigby gets challenged by this guy Cash, who is a literal walking basketball head, yeah, pretty crazy stuff here, to a match, and the winner has to pay for the other person's dinner, and Rigby throws his shot, he's trusting his gut, and it just immediately bounces out of the window. And you think, wow, Rigby's such a failure.
Greatest bank shot of all time. But it should have worked.
He offers to play another game and he loses again. And then we get this entire episode about Rigby trying to redeem himself, training with Dawn. Dawn returns, Rigby gets his confidence back. He's going in there, he's gonna try to be Cash, and he loses again. Until it's revealed, when the basketball god himself shows up, that Rigby's ball has been bouncing all over the entire world. Hell, it even gets on a plane and keeps bouncing. It finds another basketball to fall in love with, and it still keeps on bouncing all the way back to the restaurant, goes through the rim. In the greatest bank shot of all time, Rigby genuinely just threw one ball that was able to travel around the entire world. That's pretty great if you ask me.
What was that other thing he was into? Food Run?
And coming in at number 16, it's going to be from the episode Jablonski, and it's going to be Rigby defeating Jablonski and also earning his respect in the process. I really enjoy this episode. It's all about Rigby having to go back to high school because he wants to impress Eileen and also a little bit for himself, and he has to take a gym class in order to pass, and it turns out to be his old school bully. Jablonski coming in as the brand new sub to teach this class, and he just starts making Rigby's life a living hell. And so Rigby, in response to this, challenges him to food run, and we get this really epic race where the entire goal of it is to get to a fast food restaurant across town, get the order, and deliver it back before the other team. It's really awesome. It's really epic. I enjoy it a lot.
Sauce me, bro.
Shoo! Go away! Oh shit! Get off my property!
It's a very grounded episode, but you also just have this awesome car race placed in the middle of it, and you have Rigby getting there before him, beating him in food run.
Beat him, Rigby! Beat him so you can finally get out of my skull!
Team Rigby wins!
And he just starts crying. The dude literally just starts crying right there because he's just so sad because life isn't like high school anymore. And mind you, Rigby is like 27, 28, so this dude has been spending the past 10 years still reliving the glory days. What a guy. And Rigby talks to him and tells him that high school was in the past, you have to keep on moving forward. And he gains the respect of Jablonski and passes Jim at the same time.
You gotta get past the glory days and move on with your life. Focus on the now.
You're right. I gotta say, I got mad respect for that response.
It's just really great for him. Things were really going up for him in season 7, and this is definitely one of his best moments.
Wait, you're not actually considering changing your name to Trash Boat, are you?
What? No, I was just joking.
Then what are you hiding behind your back?
And coming in at number 15 is going to be when Rigby changed his name to Trash Boat. And don't get me wrong, you could also say that this is one of the worst things Rigby has ever done, especially for him, but it doesn't take away from just how hilarious it is, and that's why I have to put it on this list. I mean, bro literally looked across his entire room, found a boat and a trash can, and was literally like, this is amazing! Call me Trash Boat.
Guy, what would you say if I changed my name to Trash Boat?
I'd say you're a total loser.
You wouldn't say it was cool?
Not if you're changing your name to Trash Boat.
And then proceeds to get roasted by literally so many people that he becomes famous because of how fucking stupid he is for calling himself Trash Boat. And we just get so many great scenes with everybody from the park just making fun of him, roasting him.
Hey, Trash Boat, pick that up. Name tags are mandatory on work time.
What? But that's only for new employees.
Exactly. New name, new man. Now put it back on or you're fired.
And he became so famous that a guy from the future, the Urge, literally has to come back in time and try to murder Rigby for what he did to him because he became more famous than the Urge. And so the Urge has to chase him down, hunt him down, and try and murder Rigby. And all the scenes we get from this, it's great. Rigby being a dumbass and changing his name to Trash Boat gave us one of the most interesting episodes in the entire series, and definitely one of the funniest episodes in the entire series. It's just fantastic. I love it. I'm so happy he changed his name to Trash Boat. I wish he just kept it.
Rigby is my friend.
I am Skips, and I have all the answers.
And coming in at number 14 is going to be when Rigby decides to give Mordecai a actual genuine birthday gift instead of just the slop that he normally gives him.
Yo, it's your birthday. I got you a present. Yo, it's your birthday. I give the best present.
And in this episode, it's called Birthday Gift. It's just Rigby meeting up with this guy named Zaxxon. And Zaxxon tells Rigby about a way to genuinely make a video game with no knowledge of how to make a video game, because you could go inside of the simulation and create the game just using your mind. Very interesting concept, and I enjoyed this episode a lot because we get Rigby just training with Zaxxon, preparing to go into the simulation. The entire training arc is a lot of fun. It's a really funny montage. And then you eventually have him going inside of the simulation and fighting his way to the birthday cake to create this video game for Mordecai. It's really enjoyable.
Hey, dude, come up and eat some birthday cake.
Now he has to fight a bunch of ants. He has to use all of his video game knowledge, his video game power, his jumping over cliffs, his shooting fireballs, all of this good stuff in order to defeat these ants and get that birthday cake. And he creates a 5-second video game for Mordecai, but hey, it's Rigby. What could you expect? And it's better than anything you'd ever given Mordecai in the past, so hey, this is an absolute win, and this is just a great example of Rigby going out of his way to be a good friend after learning from his past mistakes, so you gotta love it.
Rigby is my friend.
I am Skips, and I have all the answers.
Trampy, I've made a huge mistake.
And in number 13 from the episode California King, it's going to be Rigby's battle against Ziggy. In this episode, Rigby gets rid of Trampy, his trampoline, because he thinks he's a big boy now, and he needs a big man bed. So he gets a California King bed, and he hates it, he can't sleep, he needs his trampoline back, but it's already being taken away to the dump by Ziggy.
No second chances.
Trampy.
So this leads to a journey for him and Mordecai to go through this dump, going through all of these trials, all of these tribulations in order to get to Ziggy. And when Rigby gets challenged by Ziggy, when he finally gets there to this like ultimate like jumping on trampoline to the finish line to the death challenge, he just turns into a absolute challenge beast. Ziggy is literally using his like telekinetic powers of hallucinating like whatever the fuck, and he is just trying to do anything he possibly can to take Rigby down and just blast him into the fire. But Rigby is literally able to just hang on to anything, swing on the trampolines. He literally jumps through fire raging up. He is literally invincible in this challenge, and he defeats Ziggy even though Ziggy was literally controlling the world around them. It's just pretty crazy, and it's honestly a really epic scene to watch back. It's definitely one of Rigby's best moments. He defeats Ziggy right there, and he gets Trampy back. Good for you, Rigby.
Hey everybody, look! It's Rig Baby!
Quit it!
And at number 12 is going to be when Rigby has to slave away in order to keep his job. I mean, even though it's all his fault, in the episode Muscle Mentor. And this episode opens up with Rigby just shit-talking Benson, shit-talking his job, and this backfires when Benson walks up to him because he caught him and says, okay, get out of here, you're fired.
I don't do my work and he doesn't do a thing about it. It's a win-win.
Actually, it's a lose-lose, cause you're fired!
You're done. And so Rigby is just like, dude, I don't even know how to do my job. I'm not good at my job. Please, it's because nobody taught me how to do my job. Benson, please. And so Benson's all like, okay, I'll give you another chance. And that's when we get one of the most interesting premises for a regular show episode, with Rigby being strapped to Muscle Man's chest in a baby harness.
Hey everybody, look! It's Rig Baby!
Quit it!
Yeah, it's very weird, and Rigby just has to deal with all of this Muscle Man bullshit for the rest of the episode, and it's honestly really funny, with Rigby just going through all these trials and tribulations, like having to pick up a bag of manure and it being shoved into his face, Muscle Man crawling on the ground and Rigby just being shoved through the dirt. Rigby is just suffering. And eventually Muscle Man is like, okay, I am thirsty. I need you to carry me to this drinking fountain, and we can be done. And Rigby is trying his best to get there, but Muscle Man is a little, you know, just a little bit. So Rigby is struggling pretty much immensely, and he makes fun of Muscle Man, saying that he's just a smelly jerk. And Muscle Man pulls the cord, and I forgot to mention that if Muscle Man pulls the cord and releases Rigby, Rigby is fired. So Rigby hangs on to him, clings on to him, and starts riding Muscle Man like a horse.
You still got a minute to go.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but it's visually a lot of fun. I enjoy it so much. He's just riding him all around the park, and eventually Muscle Man falls into a lake, and Rigby has to drag his body, lifting him up on his shoulders, and save Muscle Man's life by dragging him out of that lake.
Never quit!
what a hero moment for Rigby. Definitely one of his greatest moments, even if it came from such a weird premise of an episode, but it's overall really enjoyable, and it's nice to see Rigby earn his job, earn his place at the park, and save Muscle Man's life all in the same episode in an extremely funny way. I enjoy it a lot.
You know what? It's over! Get out! Consider yourself dumped, loser! Don't call me!
Did I just get dumped for reals?
And at number 11 is going to be when Rigby saves Mordecai from Dumptown, USA. And I mainly rank this one up high because Rigby did not have to do anything for this man. I mean, he just sat through Mordecai's wedding speech where he hijacked his friend's wedding and then proceeded to go on and on about who should I be with? Should it be CJ? Should it be Margaret? Oh, how about neither? And he loses both of them at the same time, and he was the one who basically dumped CJ. But because CJ was all like, oh, I don't think we should be together after Mordecai tried to fix all of it, he's the one who gets to go to Dumptown, USA? Yeah, it's stupid. He doesn't get to go there. Dumptown, USA is a place for a bunch of bums who recently got dumped, and Mordecai goes there, and he's been there for 2 weeks. He's growing facial hair, he hasn't showered, he's with a bunch of other bums who are just also all suffering.
Sir, have you seen a tall guy by the name of Mordecai?
Rigby, you made it! Got dumped too, huh? I knew Eileen couldn't take it much longer.
They don't like getting food, they play horrible music, they literally just leave dishes and trash everywhere, and so Rigby shows up, sees this horrible way of living.
Dude, this is no way to live.
It's the only way to live.
Even though Mordecai tries to show him around town, show him how great it is, yeah, he's trying to do all this stuff to prove to Rigby that this is the way to live, and Rigby eventually has to make him come to his senses and help him escape Dumptown, USA, in a pretty decent escape scene where they're on segways, jumping over a bridge and escaping.
Hold on!
And yeah, he saves Mordecai. It's a really honorable thing to do for somebody who shouldn't have even been there and should have already lost his job at this point. But hey, we all need some mental health time at some point, so hey, I can respect it a little bit. But Rigby did a lot of stuff in this episode. He journeyed to Dumptown, he got Eileen to break up with him, and Eileen actually seemed pretty genuinely mad at Rigby.
Now we're talking.
I've been wanting to try that new Ethiopian place for weeks now, and you won't?
Whoa, okay, I think that's good.
You know what? It's over! Get out! Consider yourself dumped, loser! Don't call me!
Did I just get dumped for reals?
When Rigby told her to fake break up with him, it seemed a little bit real, so he potentially had to go and apologize to Eileen for all this stuff. He was just being a real homie, doing anything he possibly could to get Mordecai back. That's what a true friend does.
You see, there's been a murder.
Oh, you're taking me to a murder mystery, right?
Yes.
Great! I already picked out a dress a week ago!
And at number 10 is going to be from the episode Crazy Fake Plan, and it is going to be Rigby's Crazy Fake Plan. Eileen is a person who can genuinely never really be surprised. Because of her intuition, she is able to guess any surprise coming a mile away.
Surprise! I'm taking you.
To the conjunction of the moon and Mars up on Lookout Mountain? I know! I'm so excited!
And Rigby in this episode, he wants to do anything to surprise his girlfriend. It's just a genuinely nice thing that he wants to do because he just keeps on getting caught over and over and over again when he plans all these different things just trying to surprise her, so he comes up with a crazy fake plan. And honestly, it's super enjoyable to watch. I mean, you have Rigby showing up to her work and being all like, hey, and he's just wearing a bunch of random clothes that don't really mean anything, and Eileen is immediately trying to guess what's going on. You have him joking with a random homeless guy, saying like, hey, I talked to your boss.
Now get out of here, you crazy kids.
Rigby, I don't know who that is.
He's a guy who gets it. But don't worry, I did talk to your boss.
So you just have a lot of these good moments with like relationship building moments with him and Eileen while they go on this crazy journey with Mordecai and Margaret, and just going to all of these different places just to throw Eileen off of the scent of whatever this surprise could possibly be. It's really sweet. It's really well thought out, surprisingly, because eventually they end up in the desert where a bunch of motorcycle dudes just come out of nowhere and start attacking them, literally destroying the car, literally putting bags over their head and making them think that they're all going to die, and Eileen gets a bag put over her head. She wakes up on a cliff. Rigby takes off the thing, and it's revealed that he is showing her a giant strawberry.
Surprise! I brought you to see a giant strawberry!
What? I can't believe it! Seeds of Agony by Jono? Ah! I'm really here!
she is surprised Rigby did it. He managed to surprise the unsurprisable, and it's just a really good moment with him going out of his way to do something just so sweet, so crazy. But hey, you gotta admire Rigby being the one person in the show that genuinely seems to understand what being a good boyfriend is.
Well, I mean, it's the least you could do.
The least I could... I quit.
At 9 is going to be from the episode Lift With Your Back, and it's going to be Rigby gaining some self-respect, going out of his way to prove to everybody at the park that he can earn a check by his own, that he is responsible, that he is becoming a better person, and that he is genuinely useful. Because at the beginning of this episode, it's shown that Rigby has been covering for Mordecai over and over and over again. He doesn't have to do that. If it was Rigby a few seasons ago, he would have never done something like this for Mordecai, because he was an asshole. But because Rigby had genuinely grown at this point in the series, he was doing so much extra work for Mordecai, and the thing is, he wasn't even doing it poorly. He was genuinely doing some good work all by himself that was made for two people, because he's just being a good friend. And when push comes to shove, when Benson's all like, hey Rigby, can you go with somebody else to screw in a light bulb, and Rigby's like, nah, I could do that by myself, and everybody just laughs in his face. And when Rigby turns to Mordecai, the one person who is supposed to stand by his side, when he could clearly see that Rigby has been doing fine on his own for weeks, Mordecai just basically laughs and says, huh, yeah, you're my friend. You're not useful at all. You're pathetic.
Mordecai, tell him how useful I am.
Yeah, I mean, you're fun.
What? No, tell him I'm useful.
Yeah, you're my friend.
Why aren't you saying the word useful?
And Rigby, in response to this, he quits his job because he doesn't understand why nobody thinks that he's useful. And he's going to go out there and prove that he is useful. And I really like the scene where he's like trying to get a job, and because he has just no credentials, it goes down to just one job. Lift With Your Back Moving Company. And so he joins this company, and you have to lift with your back, which is obviously going to hurt a little bit because your back is not supposed to go through horrendous things like that.
Ew!
And so Rigby's back is a little bit mangled, but he is making it through the week, and his final challenge is to move an entire truckload all by himself. And he literally gets the power of the lifting gods that just embodies his entire being. He starts glowing, his eyes roll back, and he's able to lift like the heaviest thing you could ever lift out of that truck and prove Mordecai wrong, rubbing that check in his face. It's well deserved. It's very good. I enjoy this episode a lot. It's just great that Rigby got an episode that actually proves that he has been growing, he has been changing, and he is a capable person now, compared to like in season 2 when he literally was physically incapable of doing anything meaningful. I think this episode was necessary for Rigby's growth as a character, and that's why it's one of his greatest episodes.
So dear Benson, here's a letter where with it we bust out. Bust out! Informal language living. Lao sure, you lao chic. Yo, don't be stressing ticks. We'll help you get a book cause we know some adult chicks.
And at number 8 is going to be when Rigby helps save Benson's performance when Benson goes to China to teach English to a bunch of Chinese students. Rigby tags along because he is also in high school at this point, and he decides that he's going to hide in Benson's luggage, which was a really funny moment because I don't know how a guy with claustrophobia can sit in a piece of luggage for a 12-hour flight, but either way, he does it. He's in China now. He's taking an English class so that he doesn't actually have to learn the language, which in a way is actually kind of a really smart thing to do, and he just starts teaching all of the Chinese students slang instead of actual proper English, and so Benson thinks that he's going to fail. There's just no way. We even get a heart-to-heart between Rigby and Benson, which inspires Rigby to actually do something genuinely incredible. He decides that he's going to get all of the students together to pull a all-nighter and write this incredible rap song about English, about slang, about all this stuff to impress all of the people at the performance.
Dear Benson, here's a letter. We begin with my bad.
My bad. We like to keep it formal, but living in the modern world has freshened up the normal way of saying what we want.
And it goes hard. The song is actually really good. All the raps are good.
Our history, you see, is study only for a test. No biggie, but like our music, no, we need a rest. Slang is I. My straight up chillin', swagger, skillin', street talk, and it's tight.
Rigby's moments in it are good.
So dear Benson, here's a letter where with it we bust out. Bust out! Informal language living.
Lao sure, you lao chic.
Yo, don't be stressing ticks. We'll help you get a boo, cause we know some adult chicks.
He's just doing something genuinely nice for Benson so that Benson could potentially have the option to come back to China and teach again and do something meaningful with his life. It's just a really nice thing to do, even though Rigby was coerced into doing it because Benson was feeling so bad about Rigby hijacking his entire plan of coming to China. But either way, Rigby going out of his way to get all of the students together to do this awesome thing for Benson, you can't ignore the fact that it's a great Rigby moment and it's one of the greatest things he's done in the show.
Could you help me read this map?
Maps? Yes, I'm a map expert.
Oh, wonderful!
I'm also an expert at finding you, Bert Coleman!
And at number 7 is going to be when Rigby defeats Bert Coleman in Expert or Liar. I really enjoy this episode. I think it's one of Rigby's best. The episode opens with Rigby just sitting there, just, you know, tending to a garden, and a old lady walks up and is like, "Are you a flower expert?" And Rigby's like, "Yeah, totally." And then just rips off the skin mask, and it turns out that it's Bert Coleman to test if Rigby is a expert or a liar.
Are you an expert?
I'm totally an expert.
We got an expert!
What the?
And Rigby gets the first question wrong, and he has made a fool to the entire nation. Should he have lied about being an expert? No. Did he deserve to be embarrassed on TV for it in front of the entire country? Also no. So this is the beginning of Rigby's redemption arc, where he just grabs a bunch of snacks and he starts going around the city, mugging some old people and trying to rip his skin mask off of a random old person who is not Bert Coleman, doing some honestly pretty heinous things, and just suffering all around the city looking for Bert Coleman.
Could you help me read this map?
Maps? Yes, I'm a map expert.
Oh, wonderful!
I'm also an expert at finding you, Bert Coleman!
He gets some help from Benson, who was also humiliated on TV in a pretty funny way.
Benson, say that word!
Banana!
Oh, I'm sorry, Benson. The word is bandana. Not quite sure how you missed that one. I mean, there it is. Bandana.
And eventually they all come together to help Rigby hide in just plain sight, to get Bert Coleman to come to him at this video game arcade area. And Bert Coleman approaches Rigby. Rigby rips off a skin mask of his own, and he competes in Bert Coleman's finale of Expert or Liar.
Well, I've got a surprise for you, Bert Coleman. We meet again!
Where he has to answer 10 different questions while also completing this entire like video game style course. It's epic, it's visually stunning. Rigby is doing it like a champ, doing every single task to the best of his ability, proving that he is a video game expert, and he's able to answer that final question, which is a really stupid fucking final question because Rigby is literally the answer. It's who holds the high score in Broken Bones? It's Mordecai and Rigby. Why would you ask that as the final question? I'll still never understand that, but either way, just that moment when Rigby launches up, punches Bert Coleman in the face, square in the jaw. It's just so satisfying.
Wrong! Liar!
I said he was! Until the record was broken by Mordecai and me! And I did it because I'm an expert!
No!
Definitely one of Rigby's best episodes, one of his best moments. I just love it so much. It's so good.
You seen Rigby? I'm his father! He's the grown adult who goes to school!
And at number 6 is going to be from the episode Rigby Goes to Prom, and the amount of stuff that Rigby is able to do that is just genuinely so good in this episode is honestly amazing. I mean, first of all, you have Rigby taking Eileen to prom, a prom that she never got to go to because she was just, you know, too smart, never got asked, all that stuff. It's just, you know, really wholesome to see Rigby go out of his way to do something that he doesn't really have to do. It's not like he has to go to the dance in order to graduate high school. I mean, he is 27, but he goes out of his way to do this to make Eileen really happy, so that's also a very good aspect. And then he wants to go even further to make Eileen's night even better. He probably could have just used the cart, but instead he wants to get a nice ride to show Eileen a good time, so he wants to ask Dawn for the car, but he trashed Dawn's car in the Jablonski episode, so he has to ask his dad to borrow the car. And Rigby and his dad's relationship is really bad. You could clearly see that Rigby's dad is just a horrible father, constantly believing that Dawn is just the better person in comparison person to Rigby. And it's just really sad to see because you could tell that Rigby is trying, he's trying to prove that he's becoming a better person, and his dad just doesn't care even remotely. But lucky for Rigby, his mom is still there to help him out, gives him the car keys anyway, and just says, leave me out of it. And so Rigby goes to the dance, has a great time with Eileen, is doing really well. Eventually leaves the prom to go to this like mountaintop, and that's when Rigby's dad finds out the car is missing, shows up in the prom, and is like, Rigby, where are you? I love you more than I love my car more than you, Rigby. And it just goes around the prom screaming in his underwear. Really funny stuff. I enjoyed a lot.
You seen Rigby? I'm his father. He's the grown adult who goes to school.
And eventually he's told where Rigby is. He goes up there to find Rigby and just starts scolding him just hardcore, and accidentally drives off a cliff. And that's when it's up to Rigby to have one of his most epic moments in the entire show, moving his dad out of the seat, taking over, driving down a mountain while it's rock sliding, avoiding all the trees, avoiding everything, avoiding ravines, and proving that he is able to handle some crazy stuff.
Ah! Go left! Go left! Ah! Not right! Ah!
While also making his father reevaluate his feelings for Rigby and begin to trust him and see him for the person Rigby has become. The only thing that isn't good about this episode is just how rushed the relationship fixing feels, but either way, it's a great moment for Rigby to actually start to have a bond with his father and start to be able to, you know, talk to his father in a way that isn't just his father being mad and demeaning him for like being a bad kid, because Rigby was a bad person, but he genuinely began to grow, and I'm really glad that they gave us an episode with Rigby fixing his relationship with his father, because that was probably the reason that Rigby became the way that he became.
I missed the dance show to bring you soup!
In Act 5 from the episode The Eileen Plan, it's when Rigby decides to take charge of his life and prove that he's genuinely worthy for Eileen. When he reads Eileen's plan about how she wanted to marry somebody rich, smart, famous, whatever it was, and just saying that just smart is okay, Rigby feels really bad about himself because he doesn't even have a high school diploma, and Eileen doesn't know that. So Rigby decides to go back to high school in secret and get his high school diploma to be a good person and a good man for Eileen. It's just a genuinely wholesome thing to do, and I thought it was going to just be a one-off, you know, one note, just single like story episode, but it goes on for the entire season, and that's what's really good about it, because it's just the entire arc for Rigby in one season about him becoming a better person. And yes, we have seen his growth in the past seasons, but this season is where we genuinely get to see so much of it, and it's all because of this one decision to go back to high school and prove that he is good enough for Eileen. Eventually they like go in this like cave when Eileen figures out what's going on, and Rigby has to confess to Eileen that he didn't get a high school diploma. Eileen obviously doesn't care, and they're trapped in this cave, and Rigby has to find a way to get them out. He has a geode, breaks it open, is just like saying how gorgeous it is when he lights a fire, but he's just looking at Eileen. It's just a really wholesome, sweet moment for Rigby.
Wow, it's gorgeous.
Rigby, look!
He saves them by getting them out of that cave, and he continues his high school journey. It's definitely something that if you like were watching this show in season 1, 2, 3, even 4, you would never even remotely think that Rigby was going to do something like this. So it was all the more shocking when he genuinely goes back to high school, sticks with it, and graduates. It's just so good, and it all happens because of the Eileen plan. So it's one of Rigby's greatest moments and greatest decisions in the show.
Don't worry about the installs. It's ready for your eyeballs.
Nuh-uh! You guys didn't have to go to so much trouble. Thank you.
It was all Rigby's idea.
Really?
And Act 4 is going to be when Rigby decides just out of the blue to be a super nice guy and set up Eileen's flat screen in the episode Eileen Flat Screen. This is genuinely a shocker for me because when I first saw it, it was probably the first time where I was genuinely like, wow, what's going on with Rigby? Why is he doing this? Because like before, like yeah, he was slowly becoming a better person, but you never really took notice of that. But when it's Eileen Flat Screen, when Eileen wins a brand new flat screen TV and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna set it up for her. I'm gonna install it, set it up, buy a pizza, and get it all ready for when she's done with classes.
Eileen worked hard for this. You can't just...
No, I'm not just gonna drop it off. I'm gonna install it for her to surprise her when she gets home from work. You are?
That's just a crazy thing to do, especially for Rigby at this point in the series. It was like, whoa, it even makes Mordecai shocked. It even makes CJ shocked. It makes them all shocked that he's willing to go to these lengths for Eileen, because at this point, nobody's even remotely thinking that they might be canoodling, but they are, and Rigby's just doing a genuinely nice thing for her for no apparent reason other than be nice. He even goes to great lengths to fight over Joanne, because Joanne takes the TV, so we get this big chase where they try to get the TV back because, you know, Eileen has as much right to use the outlets in her apartment as Joanne, and Rigby is able to use his utility whip and save the TV after Joanne throws it off a bridge.
No! Eileen's TV that you won in the dance competition!
That was close.
Nice
Whoa,
whip
Rigby.
action.
Oh, whatever. Just get
An epic moment. I don't even know how he remotely was able to do this, but he does, and he even gets Joanne to stop being Eileen's roommate because Joanne is a horrible human being, and he like knocks the TV off of the bridge, and that causes the entire like royal like rich family of Hanatronic TV to come and take Joanne away. That's not the important part here. The important part is that Rigby went out of his way to do something really nice for Eileen, and this was one of the earliest moments in the series of Rigby's genuine change into a really good person, so I'm gonna rank it up pretty high.
Don't worry about the installs. It's ready for your eyeballs.
Nuh-uh! You guys didn't have to go to so much trouble. Thank you.
It was all Rigby's idea.
Really?
Give me what I desire most, the destruction of Christmas forever!
And in number 3, it's going to come from the Christmas special, and it's all the way at the end of it. When Quilligan is holding the box to destroy Christmas, he's about to wish for the destruction for Christmas forever. Mordecai immediately sprints at him and just spears him into this lava pit, and Rigby, no hesitation, doesn't even remotely think of anything else. This is just one of the broest moments that he ever has in the entire series. Immediately just says, Mordecai, starts sprinting and jumps into the lava pit, not knowing if he's going to be able to get out, not knowing if he's going to survive, but he has to at least try to save his friend. It's one of the most epic scenes.
One push of this detonator, and it's all gone.
I mean, first of all, you just have the Christmas song playing in the background. You have them fighting with Quilligan the Elf while fighting in midair, fighting over this box. Rigby doing anything to try to save Christmas and to try to save Mordecai.
Rigby! Let go!
It's just the way that he didn't even have a second thought about trying to go and save his best friend. I mean, say what you want about Rigby being a bad person, but this was one of the moments very early on in the series where you could just genuinely tell that he cared about Mordecai more than anything else, because he didn't even care about his own life at this point. He just wanted to help his friend, immediately jumping into the lava pit to help with the fight with Quilligan, and I love that so much. I respect it so much. It genuinely is one of Rigby's most epic moments, and it just is a cherry on top that they managed to defeat Quilligan and get out of there on hoverboards. It's just all the more awesome. Definitely one of Rigby's best moments in the show.
Not fine. Not fine, not fine. You've been driving all this time. Your eyes, they must be blind.
Cut it out.
Not fine, not fine. How can you say you're fine? Thinking about this sweater, gotta pull yourself together.
And in number 2 is going to be from the episode Laundry Woes. And for a episode that is honestly so horrible for Mordecai, just trying to give a sweater back to his ex, just doing anything, literally driving for 20 hours straight just to try to give the sweater back, it's a really bad episode. I don't enjoy it. I understand why it exists, because you needed a follow-up to Stake Me Amadeus, but either way, the one main highlight of this episode that I will always have is Rigby's ability to just do anything to try to steer Mordecai in the right way, just trying to do anything to help him, because Mordecai has been driving for 20 hours at this point to Margaret's university, and Rigby is just continuously trying to talk him out of it. He even went on this 20-hour journey just to try to talk Mordecai out of this. He even starts creating a rap about how it's not fine, you're anything but fine.
Not fine. Not fine, not fine. You've been driving all this time. Your eyes, they must be blind.
Cut it out.
Not fine, not fine. How can you say you're fine? Thinking about this sweater, gotta pull yourself together.
It's not just about the sweater. It's about seeing Margaret again. It's about getting that all started up again. It's about getting back into those old feelings, and none of that is going to be even remotely healthy for Mordecai, who just spent the past month trying to get over Margaret, and with all of his buddies doing everything they possibly could to help Mordecai out. So Rigby knows that this is just going to be so bad for him.
Cause it's not about the sweater, and
and you know it. You gotta forget about Margaret.
Dude, Margaret's important to me. I can't just forget her.
Okay. You don't have to forget her, but you have to get over her for real.
So he's just trying to do everything, and Mordecai in return pushes him out of the car and leaves him on the side of the road. And Rigby could have just said fuck it at that point and just walked away, but no, he decides to start jogging to the university in the hope, just the maybe chance that he could catch Mordecai before he does this.
That's it.
Aw, man.
And Mordecai eventually comes to his senses all on his own after a battle with a laundry version of Margaret, but either way, I believe that Rigby played a key part in that, and Rigby was still willing to try to help him, not holding a grudge against Mordecai. He was still understanding of his friend's feelings, but he was still willing to do whatever it took to try to get Mordecai to stop making this horrible decision, and that is just one of the broest things you could ever do, and that's why I'm ranking it all the way at number 2.
Why do friends not pick their friends to enter a video game competition with them when they know that they would want to be in it?
And I'm just going to do some honorable mentions here. I'm going to do one from the episode Video Game Wizard, and it's literally just Rigby making the song, why do friends not get their friends to enter a video game competition with them when they know that they would want to be in it?
Why do friends not pick their friends to enter a video game competition with them when they know that they would want to be in it?
Yeah, that song is fire and it's amazing. I just didn't think that it was one of his greatest moments. It maybe is a really good song and it's really funny, but I don't think it belongs on a list of Rigby's greatest moments. And then another honorable mention that I really just wanted to touch on was after Mordecai gets dumped in Stake Me Amadeus and takes Margaret to the airport. It's just this one really small scene where it's Mordecai staring into the sunset and Rigby just shows up, soda in hand, just to be there for him. He doesn't even have to say a whole lot of words. He's just gonna be there for his friend, and I just respect that a lot.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
No.
So those are the honorable mentions.
Once you do the hard stuff, it becomes not that hard.
And coming in at number 1, it's going to be Rigby graduating. He got an entire special all about his big graduation day, and in this episode it's revealed that Rigby has to give a speech to America to inspire everybody because his story has earned that right. A 27-year-old man going back to high school just to make his girlfriend happy, and the speech that he gives is genuinely really impressive.
What I'm about to tell you will blow your mind. Are you ready, America? Yeah! Once you do the hard stuff, it becomes not that hard.
Because he comes up with it all on the spot, and it's really good about how once you do the hard stuff, it's not hard anymore. About how he's surrounded by impressive people like Eileen, like Dawn, like Mordecai, like all of his friends, how they all inspired him.
I've come a long, long way, and in the end, I still get to be me, but better.
And it's all about inspiring somebody else to go and do something great because everybody around you is inspiring everybody. Let his success lead to your success, and it's just so good.
Yes, America, today I may inspire you, but I'm just part of a larger chain reaction. Let my success today lift you up so that you too can do great, hard things.
It's so great. It's genuinely a really good speech. If you're ever feeling down and you need some motivation, surprisingly, Rigby's got a really good motivational speech, and it's really great. It's just awesome to see all of this pay off, all of these coming back to high school moments, all of these like genuine like turns in his character and his character progression, all leading to this one moment for Rigby to get a really good speech that just encapsulates all of his growth in just one short scene. You gotta love it.
And after those people, even more people! Billions of people all over the world, overcoming obstacles, inspiring other people!
I appreciate it so much. Rigby's graduation day special is one of his best episodes in the entire series, and I think the speech is probably his greatest moment in the entire series. It just feels so well. It feels like such a payoff for everything we got to watch Rigby go through, all of his growth. I love it so much, and that's why it's earning the #1 spot on this list. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. I got plenty of good content on the way, and you don't want to miss it. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.